Welcome to the Bleav Podcast Network SoCal Sweat. My name is Anne McDaniels, a former NFL cheerleader and product manager turned actress and model who dreams of being a UFC fighter. Meow. Learning strategies to help motivate others leads me to bring you interviews each week from a range of athletes, experts in fitness and nutrition, and so much more. Thanks for listening to Bleav, the #1 podcast for working professionals, and let's push our endorphins to higher performance through SoCal Sweat. This is your host, Anne McDaniels of SoCal Sweat. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about mental toughness. Well, I'll tell you someone who knows a lot about mental toughness, and that is Vince Anello, who's going to be my guest on the show today. He is the world's 5-time powerlifting IPF champion, who says the mind is your strongest muscle. Now, not only was he the first person in history to deadlift 800 pounds, while, by the way, weighing less than 200 pounds, but Vince is also a York Barbell Hall of Fame inductee, accomplished bodybuilder, successful physical education educator, and a greyhound rescuer. His Anello Body Fitness coaches and mentors clients in strength and athleticism, but it's his mental training division where he's most passionate. This episode will share his philosophy on mental training and how he helps his clients utilize the tools for success through mental training. And here we have Vince Anello, world's first 5-time powerlifting IPF champion. Good morning, Mr. Vince Anello.
Hey, how's it going, Annie? Good.
Good. Of Cleveland, Ohio, you are the 5-time powerlifting champion, a powerlifting legend who says your mind is your strongest muscle. Of all the muscles in your body, your mind is your strongest muscle.
Definitely, it's the common denominator for success in anything.
Yes.
In any area, in any sport, and in anything, in any endeavor. The mind is the common denominator of success. There are so many different ways of achieving things, but the common denominator is mental.
How do you, and you spent 7 years of coaching, a physical education, or teaching and coaching, didn't you, in the Ohio area?
Yes, I was a teacher. I was a physical education teacher.
Oh, that's great.
I graduated in 1970 and I taught after that. And then,
Okay. And how did you get into powerlifting? That's like fascinating because you started as a bodybuilder, right? And then someone kind of prompted you into this sport?
Yeah, I started as a bodybuilder. I started lifting weights in the 3rd grade because I was a short little fat kid that got bullied.
Oh,
I got bullied and I started lifting weights in the 3rd grade. I started studying training in the 3rd grade and I went in the woods and I got myself a rusty bar and put bricks on it. That's how I started.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, did you ever do like neighborhood bets or when you're training for the powerlifting, did you hook yourself up to a fire truck and try to pull a fire truck or anything crazy like that?
No, I've done, we did, when I was teaching, I taught inner city schools and they had ballet dancers come in there and they were, the kids, that wasn't in their, culture and they were laughing at them. So I thought, what would interest these kids if we did strength acts? So I hooked up with my training partner at the time, Crazy Bob, and then we got together and we went to different schools and did strength acts. And the children really, they appreciated this and they gave us a lot of respect, more, more than they did with, male ballet dancers, which is nothing wrong with that.
Right. Right. We're talking like Ohio. It's just not exactly the culture, but I love that they had opened up to that. So very cool. So right away, you were were you groomed in your family to do that as well? Or did that just come straight from, I've been bullied, I'm going to fight back, I'm not going to be a winner?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I got bullied. I was in boxing and I got into wrestling and all that stuff. So
love it. Well, you're no short, fat kid now, I tell you that much. And you are
I'm short though. Hey, I'm short.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I've been looking at all your stuff and I'm just fascinated because I love bodybuilding and I just love physical, anything PE wise anyway. But I think it's impressive that you had the mental fortitude to do that at third grade. I mean, when so many kids will wimp out or cry, they either become bullied or they become bullies, or they just pick themselves up by their bootstraps, train and get more tough and harder. And
So I thank God for the bullies. I
sure.
wouldn't have come what I did if it wasn't that I didn't get bullied.
Yes. Did you face any of them later in life and your friends now, or?
Yeah, some of them came in and I trained them.
Oh.
We laughed about the old days, you know what I mean?
Well, there you go. You showed them. That is awesome. Now, just a little bit before we get into the mental toughness, I love your stories. I mean, I noticed one in 1977. You were with your friend Lamar, and you had a huge powerlifting competition, and he was already done. And weren't you in Australia or something exotic?
Yeah.
And he brought all the ladies, and you.
Oh,
you
he,
like,
he was. He got us on the dates. He was a lighter weight,
okay.
but his job after was to get us a date.
And he brought back all these beautiful ladies, and you had to train this morning. Yes. And that was your biggest, but you made up for it, because didn't you guys fly home a day later and you had some grand old fun?
Oh yeah, we did.
Good, great stories. How cool.
We didn't think about, when you're analytical, you have to be analytical when you're training. You have to get into technique and stuff. But when you're competing, you got to get rid of the analytical mind.
Yeah, but how easy would it have been for you to be very distracted by these beautiful women? Oh, maybe just one drink, maybe two drinks, and you had to compete the next day. And I watch a lot of boxing. Boxing is my favorite. And I think Conor McGregor said, never rest on a win, because you can win and then you can go out and have a bunch of steak and drink. And the next time, then you're going to get overweight. You're not going to keep up with your regimen. So never resting on a win, which sounds like you obviously didn't.
Yeah, definitely.
So very cool. Now, I love your mental toughness, because I'm all about that. I had broken my femur and my arm in January. And if I didn't have my own mental toughness to get me through, this would have been a whole different ballgame. So
yes,
how did you train yourself early on with that? Probably because since you were bullied in third grade, I would say already you were developing that sharpness.
Yeah, I did a lot of studying mental. I did transcendental meditation, silver mind training. I took courses and all that stuff.
Wow.
And that was my, I still get into that. I still get into mental training, different forms of mental training. Now they have different forms like dynamic spin release and all that other stuff, and,
Sure.
And
you can pull from all that. Now, when you're training clients, as you know, everybody has excuses. They're big boned, or they didn't have time. How do you get through the mental aspect of people who just skimp out on their training, or they lie to you? Like every time they come in, they haven't lost a pound on the side. They're not getting any stronger or tougher.
Yeah.
Obviously they're lying to themselves, and you can see right through it. Of course, I did read that you really get to know every client very personally, so you know exactly how to pinpoint. How do you deal with that?
I'm not sure.
Well, how do you deal with the excuses when people come to you and they never, maybe they didn't show up on time a couple of times, or just the excuses that a lot of clients have where, well, I don't feel like dieting, or how do you get through the mental toughness with that, or if they want to quit? How do you?
We do mental training after every session.
Okay.
And not too many people lie, and they're truthful to me. Most of my clients have been truthful to me.
There you go.
What I mean? And
so they will confess if they just.
Oh yeah, they confess. They said, I got on a binge. And I tell them, you could have one junk day a week. If you were to give up, eating Reese cups, which is I'm addicted to.
Oh my God, so good, so good.
If you were to go for months and months, then you go on a binge. But one day a week, you can have some of that. And one day.
I agree. And you just said some. I think some people, Vince, think that a cheat day is like all day long at country buffet, then to the movies to eat popcorn, and then grab a bunch of candy. And you said some. I think people misconstrue cheat days with the entire day as like, Sodom and Gomorrah of food. Do you teach like a little bit, like have 3 or 4 Reese's, but don't go nuts all day? Or do you believe in a full cheat day of going?
I believe in a full cheat day, and if you limit yourself, you're going to go back. You're going to binge later on. If I have 3 Reese cups on Saturday, and during the week, I may but I can eat as much as I want.
You can, yes,
Yeah.
because you have that. You will always be disciplined. Have you tried the Reese's Peanut Butter Puffs cereal?
Not yet.
Oh, you've got to promise me it'll change your life. It's about as good as the actual thing. So, how do you use words? There was an experiment, Vince. It was Dr. Masaru Emoto. He's a Japanese scientist.
Yes.
And he experimented with water. In one area of water, he talked kindly to it and played beautiful music. And for the other side of water, he was really mean and they played like really menacing music, which I love. And there were beautiful crystallizations in the music that was in the water that he had been kind to and groomed. And the other never formed any shapes, and it was just kind of sitting there.
Yeah.
It's the power of words and what we say to ourselves. How do you train in mental toughness with your clients to turn certain things around? Like, oh, this is a real problem. Do you say, well, don't look at it as a problem, look at it as a challenge to grow? How do you get through these negative mindsets?
Negative mindsets. Well, what I have them do, Annie, is I put them in a relaxed state. Then I have them visualize their goal. And then I have them all 3 modalities. I had them see their success, hear their success, and then eventually feel their success.
Oh,
and then I give them a trigger, like a clenched fist. And then before they go to bed, I have them clench their fist and feel that success. When they wake up in the morning, I have them clench that fist and feel the success in the morning. And before they eat anything, like even if you want to have a Reese cup during the week, you clench that right fist and feel yourself succeeding. You're less apt to eat it.
Wow. I like that a lot. And that means they would always be on them. They always have a fist to clench. It's not a list of things to do. It's always on them.
And another thing, like you're in the martial arts. Could you think of a time when you're performing your best? Okay, I have you put you in a relaxed state, have you see what you saw yourself, in third person, and your competitors, see yourself having the best day, competition of your life. Then I have you hear what you would hear. What would the referees be saying? What would your competitors be saying? I have you hear this. And what would be your internal dialogue when you're doing your best? And then I have you feel it. And then before you go to bed, I clench that fist, and I have you, and when you wake up, clench that fist. And when you're competing or training, I have you clench that fist. Get that successful mindset. Do you see our new trainer here?
Oh, I can't see it. Hold it up by your face. Oh, hold the trainer up to your face.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me back up. He comes in here. It's our new Greyhound.
Oh, it's the new one. He was on Facebook this morning.
Yeah, you see him?
Yes, so cute. Well, even that, I love that you because it's like you come across as such a hard ass who's just like super, almost like intimidating, and you have all these wonderful greyhounds. Well, how did that start? When did you and Sue get into that, and why did you?
Yeah, 20 years ago, we adopted our first greyhound.
Yeah.
And then they come to the gym with me every day.
Wow.
And my clients love them.
I love that. Do you adopt whippets too, or just greyhounds?
We just have greyhounds right now, but when I was growing up, I had an animal ever since when I was growing up. The bad part, when they deceased, I couldn't go to school for a week.
Oh yeah.
And then we had 5 greyhounds, and now we only have 3.
Well, that's another lovely thing about you, that you're there's just like strongman, powerlifter, bodybuilder, mental toughness, and you're such a soft heart, which which really goes to show what you probably portray with your clients as well. And that's amazing. Now, I love that. I just love that physical to mental connection of the fist to the mind, and doing that every day and constantly.
Yes.
I'm going to start employing that in my own life.
We're going to do that. If you don't mind, I could put you in a relaxed state and install that trigger in you.
Uh-oh.
What do you think? Can we do that?
I've got to go compete on something after this. I don't know if I want to be relaxed. I don't know.
No. It's not going to relax you.
Sure. Yeah, we'll do that.
I'll have you just install the trigger. It's not going to, you could do whatever you want afterwards.
Let's do it in a few minutes. And were there things in your life that you weren't always so mentally strong? Like, did you dip and then you kind of refer to that later in life so you can refer to that with your clients? Like, setbacks.
I graduated. I have a Bachelor of Arts degree, and I was a phys ed teacher. Yeah. And when I went to college, we had to have some of the. I never failed a course, but I failed. We had to take a foreign language, and I really didn't. I said, "Oh man, I don't want to take this." And so I took the course, and I failed it. First time in my life I ever failed anything. So I changed my mindset. I had a different way of learning. I put it on tape, and I went from an F to an A, and A in 101, and so they called me and they said, "How did you go from failing to getting A's?" I changed my mental mindset, and that too.
Well, you changed your mental mindset and you also got resourceful. So I think it takes a little creativity. You figured out a way to make you learn and remember it. Which language was it, Vince?
Spanish.
Do you speak a little bit now? Like, un poquito español?
No, I don't remember.
No.
My parents were Italian. My parents were Italian. I'm 100% Italian. And I don't really know anything. There's only one word I know of that, but if I said that, they'd probably shoot me if I went.
We'd have to censor on iTunes, but then no problem. You can go right ahead. Doesn't affect me in any way. I love it. That's awesome. Now, how do you, during the time right now of COVID, and I live in Los Angeles, so I'm seeing a lot of really bad cases. How do you get through something how do you help people get through something like that, where they've lost their jobs, there's no hope? Maybe they've lost their insurance. Maybe people in their family are sick or have died, or they're doing it all on their own. How would you get someone through the mental toughness and strength during a time that's really just kind of tragic for everyone?
Yeah, I have a different opinion of it. You know what I mean? Of that, Annie. I'm not saying that I'm right or wrong or anything.
Sure.
When I took psychology, I had somebody put in a relaxed state, and they gave them water. And they said it was alcohol, and really strong as alcohol, and they got drunk on water.
Because it was trance-like.
The placebo effect, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'm not right, but something seems a little bit different about this virus than other viruses when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I don't know. Who knows?
No, I understand. This is ridden with politics, and it's very controversial.
Definitely, it is, and with politics,
Yeah, we're speaking the same
something I
language.
never saw before in my life.
Right.
But I'm not saying it's not real. We put masks on and everything.
I know.
But I have my own opinion on this.
But to shut the country down, it's like, where are we going to go economy-wise? It's just very scary. But I guess I look at people's cases where legitimately, people have died in their families, and they're in a poverty level, but that's a whole nother ball game. But yeah, there's just certain things. And I wonder if your clients, because you seem to make your clients so comfortable, do they, when they're training, there's always something besides that in life. Like maybe they're going through a divorce or a breakup or something else. Maybe they were, diagnosed with a disease. Do they confess to you, and then you can kind of discuss that too? And when you're talking about mental training, does that put you in a tough position sometimes? Because it's like, you're not a counselor, but yet you kind of are.
No, we don't get into the negative. We just have them concentrate on the positive when we're doing mental training.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. And do you think it's something that can Can you train your mind? I mean, this is something that can really be taught, or do you think some people just don't really have that testicular fortitude to stick with something and retrain their brains? Do you think it can really be taught, or do you have it, or do you not?
Everybody has it. I think everybody has it, because
Yeah.
I was, as a child, I was, had a very, very, very strong inferiority complex. Which I still think in some, but I was to overcome that. I think I overcompensated. I think that's what, why I won my world titles and that in powerlifting and that.
Absolutely.
And helping other people, but I had a very strong inferiority complex.
You did, but you used it to the fullest, and you again picked yourself up and became very successful. But with that disbelief in yourself, I think you were able to gain more empathy for others, whereas some people could just be very arrogant their entire life. You knew what it was like to be there, so I think that gives you a lot more effect with your clients. Well, that's very cool. And then one final question. How do you see powerlifting? What do you see of the changes in powerlifting from when you were doing it and you were at your prime until now? Do you still follow the strongman competitions and all of this?
Yeah, I see. Still, I had an interview with a gentleman who is, contemporary powerlifter. I told him back in the day, we're all brothers and sisters in the world's strongest sports, no matter what era we're in.
That's very cool. And
I say my era was better than yours. No, my era wasn't better than yours. We're still,
you were kind of the forerunners, though.
I says we're brothers and sisters in the world's strongest sport.
I love that because you have a good attitude. Because I did listen to another powerlifter who said they pretty much cheer each other on. I mean, they don't really badmouth each other like other types of sports. I mean, they're always encouraging each other. They want someone else to win. And I did notice that you said in your training, while you were powerlifting, you taught 5 things. You said, always get advice from people that are either better than you, get along with others, which I thought that was really a tribute to you.
Yeah.
Have that passion to succeed, set goals and go after those goals like a pit bull. I love that. I agree with that.
On foot and don't let go like a pit bull.
Absolutely. Lock down that jaw. And then finally, just accept the moment, and whether it's a failure or success, accept that in the moment. So I thought that was really cool for your training. Any Olympians coming through for the powerlifting that you're going to watch?
I'm not sure. What do you mean, Olympian?
Aren't there powerlifting? Isn't there powerlifting in the Olympics?
No, not yet. No.
Oh, no. I thought there was. Okay.
No, we have our world championships in powerlifting.
Okay, I thought were going to add that or something. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, very cool. Well, any final words? And people can find you on Facebook, and you also have the Skype mental training sessions and your actual physical training.
Yeah, I train people in different areas on FaceTime. I train them on Skype, and all that. We do mental training. I train them around the world for different. It doesn't necessarily be a powerlifting, no.
Sure. Sure.
It could be any sport. I train people in tennis. I train people in ice skating, and I can even stand up on ice.
That's great. I was going to say, you train those ballet dancers that came to you guys in Ohio so long ago.
Yeah.
And so they can find you on that. And then you've published many articles and you're written up, and you also have a mental training book. Am I correct on that?
I have a book written by Dave Yarnell. Dave Yarnell.
Okay.
Wrote a book on me, and it's about my career in mental training.
Wonderful.
And you could just Google my name on Amazon. You'll find it.
Perfect. I'll put the links for all the listeners. And finally, I love that you're wearing the Anello's gorillas. How does one become an Anello gorilla? Is this just part of your team?
Yeah, I had a team. It's called the Anello's Gorillas.
Very cool.
And I one of my teammates. I didn't. A few years ago, I got rid of all mine. I didn't have any, so he brought it there, and I had it renamed. And
I love that.
People around the world that have purchased this now. I don't. Yeah.
I think I'm going to order one. And why the gorilla? What does the gorilla stand for to you?
The gorilla is strength. You ever see the strength of a gorilla?
They're scary and they're strong. Yes. Yes.
Now, with my height, I'd be another chimpanzee, but
Hey, you've got the strength of a gorilla. That's very cool. Oh, well, Vince, it was so wonderful to meet you. And please give a big hug to Sue and all the greyhounds. How many do you have right now?
We have 3. We had 5 at one time. Now we have 3.
Okay.
The bad part is when you have to, when they get older, that's the hard part.
Oh, it's the worst. I can't have an animal for that reason. I just can't. Plus I'm never home. But I love your logo is so nostalgic of the Greyhound bus. So it's cool when you go to your website, you already have a familiarity with the Greyhound. It's very creatively done. I like that a lot. So you got the gorillas and the Greyhounds over there.
I'm going to tell you a funny story. How do you have telemarketers call and want to sell you stuff? I had a telemarketer call and they asked who owned the place. So I said, Betsy. So I had a knock at the door. It has a no solicitor sign on there, but she came in and she had a gentleman she was training. They have suits on everything. She says, I spoke to Betsy over the phone and she wants to see our product. I says, really? So I says, Betsy, come here. And she's a dog. I said, she didn't tell you when you talked to her?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Did you think you were selling some kind of a Greyhound product or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Wow.
Could we do the on this mind training with you?
Sure. Let's please
So
do
they
it.
so they could record it, people could see what it is.
Wonderful. Let's do it.
Okay, Annie, could you think of a time when you were competing, when you're performing at your best?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to put you in a relaxed state, and then we're going to instill the trigger in you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sit back, close your eyes. Inhale for the count of 3. Exhale for the count of 6. Inhale for the count of 3. Exhale for the count of 6. As you inhale, think relax. As you exhale, think deep relax. You're starting to feel very relaxed. I want you now to visualize a wave of relaxation washing down your body. It's going through your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms. Going through your arms into your torso. Through your torso into your hips, through your hips to your legs, washing all the tension into your feet and into the earth as you become very relaxed. You're now at the bottom of an escalator. This escalator is going up into the clouds. As you easily step on the escalator, you feel your body going up and up, higher and higher, more and more relaxed, higher and higher, more and more relaxed. Go up, up, up your escalator, going up higher and higher. As you near the top, you see a nice soft white cloud. As you easily step off onto the cloud, you feel your body floating in the air. You're floating, floating, floating on your cloud. All your cares, all your worries are floating out of your body as you effortlessly float, float, float on your cloud. Enjoy the pleasant feeling. Okay, it's time to come down off your cloud, time to come down. As you easily step back on the escalator, you feel your body going down and down, deeper and deeper, more and more relaxed. You're going down and down, deeper and deeper, more and more relaxed. You're down, down, down your escalator, going down and down. As you hit the bottom, you see a neon sign with the word relax, flashing on and off. Relax, relax, relax. I'm going to now count from 10 to 1. When I reach 1, you'll be in an extremely relaxed state. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very, very relaxed now, very relaxed. Whenever you wish to re-enter this relaxed state, put your thumb and forefinger together of your left hand. When you do so, you will fall in a relaxed state. Then make sure you're not driving or doing anything that requires your attention. Okay, Annie, I want you to think back to a time when you're competing at your best. You're performing at your best, your top performance. What did you see? What were the sights you saw when you were competing at your best? View yourself in third person performing at your best. See your competitor. See the referee. The audience when you're performing at your best. Now, what did you hear? What were the sounds you heard? Background noise. Other people's conversations with you or each other. And when you're performing at your best, what was your internal dialogue? What were you saying to yourself? Now, fully experience that. Fully experience and feel yourself at your best. Feel yourself when you're performing your best. When you can actually feel yourself performing your best, clench the fist of your right hand. Clench the fist of your right hand. Very good. Relax. Relax your hands. Relax your hands. Relax your hands. This is your homework. When you go to bed at night before you go to sleep, clench that right fist and feel yourself performing your best. When you wake up in the morning before you get out of bed, clench that right fist and feel yourself achieving your best. Feel yourself at your best. And when you're working out, training, before you train, clench that fist and clench that right fist and feel yourself performing your best. And when you're competing, clench that right fist and feel yourself at your best. Okay. I'm going to now count from 1 to 10. When I reach 10, you're going to open your eyes, feel very refreshed, but full of energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Open your eyes. How'd you like that?
Awesome. Oh my God. Awesome. And besides that, I also like that it's your voice and not some woman who sounds like she's doing yoga. That does not inspire me. Your voice inspires me because I like coaches. I like male coaches. That's awesome. Great job. I love that. I'm definitely going to use that for sure, because especially with my own recovery, I need that.
Are you competing now?
Well, I'm still broken. So I've got that full broken femur and arm. So the only thing I can do right now is biking and swimming, but I'm diehard every single day. I'm on the bike twice a day. I'm either swimming or lifting. So no matter what I can do, but yeah, I can't do anything. I can't run. I can't walk. I can't walk upstairs yet. So pretty bad thing. So I loved that. I'm going to use that going forward. And you gave me a gift today. Thank you so much.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Can I be an Anello gorilla, please?
You could be an Anello gorilla.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I love it. Well, anything fun for the weekend? You and Sue and the dogs doing anything fun?
We take the dogs for a walk.
Okay.
We don't go to restaurants yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, as I said before, Annie, I don't know.
Sure.
You know, what percentage this is real and what percentage is choreographed.
We could have a full discussion on that. Absolutely. I agree. And then I can get just one final question, because you said about eating out. Because you look so amazing, and to me, you're kind of aging in reverse. And I feel that that is the fountain of youth when it comes to exercise and nutrition. Do you eat extremely clean, but allow yourself the Reese's peanut butter cups on a cheat day? How do you eat?
Yeah, during my wife makes very good. She's really good, healthy,
Yeah, she looks
But
beautiful.
during the week, the one thing I have I hate to say this, the one thing I have in a weekend that I love is my beer.
Oh, you're Cleveland, Ohio. You deserve a beer. I'm originally from the Midwest, so I get it. I understand.
I love beer. I love wine.
You're Italian. What can you say?
Let me tell you this. This is a funny story. It's not funny, but my coach, who I learned a lot from, Vince Lewicki, over the years. He taught me on lifting. He even taught me on mental in every aspects. He never drank. He never smoked. He ate so healthy. He got lymphoma and died in his early 50s.
When he didn't touch anything, he must have been predisposed. That's just
Yeah.
awful. That's
This
so unfair.
other gentleman, Annie, he's from Italy, smokes these big black Italian cigars. He's been doing this since he was a kid. He's been drunk every day. What they call Dago Red.
Yep.
It's a homemade Italian wine. He's been drunk since he was a kid. So his doctor said, "Sir, you better stop drinking and smoking." He's 103.
Look at that. It's
So go figure.
genetics. It's genetics. Yeah. It's awful. Just awful. Oh, I'm so sorry for your friend and coach. He sounded like a wonderful man.
Yeah, he taught me, but I learned from him the different techniques. He started me off in powerlifting.
Wow. Sure.
He started me off in powerlifting when I went in his gym, Vince's gym on West 25th and Clark. That was where I started my power. And I thought, I really don't. I just wanted to bodybuild. I didn't want to powerlift.
Sure.
But he got me into powerlifting.
What a mentor. What a mentor. He shall always be remembered. Oh, I'm just sorry, but wow, he taught you a lot. Well, you look fantastic. You've got a great success record. I will put everything up for our readers and listeners.
Thank you.
Awesome. We'll have a wonderful weekend.
I really appreciate this. This was a great interview. You did a great job. I really am honored to have you interviewed. Thank you. My honor.
And that was Vince Anello, the world's 5-time IPF powerlifting champion, whose fitness and mind training business helps achieve more success in sports, fitness, health, and in life. You can find all of Vince's information in the links below. We appreciate you for listening, and please subscribe and rate the show on iTunes. You can also listen on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Luminary, TuneIn, or at Bleav.com. You can reach out to me for any questions or topics you'd like covered on the show at Anne McDaniels. Please stay tuned in next week to learn about the pros and cons of the current fad diets of 2020 with registered dietitian Chelsea Halsman. Thanks again, and this is your host, Anne McDaniels of SoCal Sweat.